Hey, Guoba here. I promised you guys I'd yap about these old Planars, even if it's a few patches later, so here we are. We're going to be looking at the Domain and Giant Tree Planar sets. When they came out, they were pretty underwhelming, as we didn't even have Castorice or Hyacine out at that point, and they also have no complexity. But now with buffed characters and new releases, let's just look at them and see who they are best on. You probably know by now, but I did say I'd make this video for you guys, so I will. But real quick, today's sponsor. If you're looking for some pulls and you have cash spare, well, LD Shop may be able to help you out. The HSR section for LD Shop uses UID for safety, so no account information, they aren't logging into your account. I just plop in my server here and my UID, and I choose the bundle I want. These packs are discounted by 13% minimum versus in-game prices and can go up to 25%. After finishing my payment, I can log into my account just after, and voila, my Express Pass is here already. If you want more discounts, users that register with my link get a 15% coupon as well as a 5% coupon, which can save up to $50. So check it out with my link in the description. There's also a little bonus for those that spend $80 in a month who get an extra Express Pass sent your way. Anyways, stay safe and back to the video. So, Bone Collection's Serene Domain first up. That's right, it's pronounced Domain. Thank you, commenters. It will first increase the max HP of the wearer by 12%, and then at a threshold of 5000 HP or higher, you and your Memo Sprite will get a 28% crit damage buff. Now, right off the bat, 12% HP is nicer than the 12% attack of stuff like Space Sealing Station and Glamoth. This is because we have an abundance of attack boosting supports right now, but very few HP boosting ones, with only Hyacine really being meta, and she's not even a Harmony unit. The only issue is that crit damage is much more abundant right now over crit rate, but at the same time with Poet and Sunday and RMC all being things right now, maybe it's not so bad. And this set does work mid-combat, so HP buffs can be considered if needing to hit the 5k threshold. And yes, that includes Finan, funnily enough, with his Mega Self HP buff, you can run this as an okay set whilst farming for better options. But all these HP scalers should be hitting well above 5k anyway. Anyways, this planar is therefore the best planar you can run on any HP scaler right now, and if your attack DPS can somehow hit 5000 HP, the crit value is still okay. For Castorice, this is her best even over the new Arcadia set, at least until we get a full Remembrance team, and even then we don't know what said Remembrance would give her buff-wise, so it could come back out on top if damage gets even more saturated on her. For Mighty, this is his best, but Rutilant Arena is close behind with the caveat of having an even harder time maximizing his crit ratio. Remember, he gives himself 48% crit rate and really likes Sunday. For Jingliu, this is her best, even with her really high crit damage saturation. It is still 28% crit damage after all. Rutilant Arena is not far behind thanks to the damage percent, but with Jingliu giving herself 50% crit rate, you might have yet again an annoying crit rate dodging problem. And Blade has this new best as well, with the full transition into HP scaling. And I don't doubt that pre-buff, he also had this as his top planar set. Inert Soto comes out not too far behind thanks to his ults and follow-ups doing a ton of damage now, but yeah. As for supports, only Tribi currently would wear this, and that would trade energy and team buffing from something like Paniconi or Lushaka or Kill for more Tribi damage. If your carry or multiple carries are well invested, I'd stick to buffing them, and energy breakpoints are pretty RNG on her, but 5% ERR will be helping out a bit. For her damage though, Domain is for sure the way. Overall, any HP scaler wants this for their damage, as for most of them, no set comes close to the power increase this provides. Now paired with this HP scaling set, you have the Giant Tree of Rapt Brooding Planar Ornaments, made for fast healers. Since all our HP scalers enjoy heals to maximize their HP loss, their healing tally, or other things like just staying alive, we therefore have a pretty efficient stage to farm. We will first get a 6% speed buff, the second after the Forge set. Then you'll get a speed-based healing boost. When at 135 speed or higher, a 12% buff, and when at 180 or higher, a 20% buff. This will also work mid-combat just like previous planars, so speed buffs count. Now, I didn't like this set on release, and I still don't really. It is pretty Hyacine pilled. Let's see why. Outgoing healing is a straight up multiplier to your healing. If you heal 1000 HP, a 12% boost will make you heal 1120. Simple, right? And having some on your sustain is really powerful rather than just stacking their heal scaling stat over and over again, as it is just a whole new multiplier. But is healing boost the only utility we have in Planars? Absolutely not. And do we also always need healing boost? No. I'd say it's only particularly valuable in Castorice teams, Mighty teams, and maybe E1 Blade teams. The major scaling from healing is Castorice, as healing is directly converted into new bud gains. Mighty appreciates high burst healing for his HP loss to be maximized, so he appreciates it too. And E1 Blade has a lot of HP loss based multipliers, and with his new trace he does convert a portion of healing to said tally. But even with these things, it wouldn't be especially game changing for Mighty or Blade. And why do I keep talking about 12% healing? Well, there's only really one unit that hits 180 or higher outside of some incredibly lucky builds, and that is Hyacine. The fastest abundance unit is Luocha, with a base speed of 101, and even with 3 speed effect sets, or the new Warrior Goddess Relic set, and speed boots, he only hits 144. So unless you've got like 15 to 16 speed subsets laying around, you're not maximizing the Planar ornament. So for Hyacine, you can include the 20% healing, and it's a whole ton. For the rest, I'd say you're only realistically hitting 12%. It's also worth mentioning that most sustains have outgoing healing boosts in their kit already, and a bunch of light cones have it. So you have a tiny bit of dilution, but it is still a strong multiply boost for healing. For Hyacine, I would run this set, and maybe also for Castorice sustains, but for Gallagher, Luocha, Natasha, Lynx, Lingsha, Ho-Ho, Bailu outside of Castorice, I prefer running other things. The only time I'd consider it is if you specifically need them to act at a certain breakpoint with said speed, but healers are low priority in that sense outside of a couple teams. For better utility, Lushaka, Penacony, and Vonwak all have 5% energy regen, which some sustains can use for ultimate thresholds. Lushaka and Penacony notably boost allied damage. So with Penacony you could use Ho-Ho with Saber, Luocha with Maide, etc. And if you're running a healer in a dual carry setup, well then something like Broken Kill is a 10% crit damage buff to everyone there. And that can even include a Tribi, who is also providing a bunch of damage. Not to mention that the 10% F-res is pretty nice on Gallagher, since he can build up to 100% F-res very easily for full debuff immunity, unlike the other abundance units. And finally, Gallagher, funnily enough, versus Fire Weak already has a better Giant Tree set. The Forge set will offer the exact same speed gain and give him 40% break effect, which for him is a 20% healing boost anyway. It's not as universal, and again I prefer other utilities sometimes, but I thought it was fun to mention. But yeah, again, a short video since they're not too crazy and no weird mechanics. Let's hope the next batch of relics or planars coming in the future spices things up like the Poet set did. Anyways, like and sub if you want to see more guides, and thanks for watching. Thanks to my cool YouTube members, and have a Guoba day.